The sun hung low over the dusty village of Umuele, casting long shadows over mud-walled houses and the withering crops behind them. Inside one of these huts lived Mama Austin, a woman whose spirit burned with a quiet strength. Her husband had died 10 years ago, leaving behind 3 children and a piece of land barely large enough to plant yams. Life became a series of sacrifices, but she clung to one dream like a lifeline: that her first son, Austin, would graduate from the university and lift the family from poverty. Every day, Mama Austin hawked firewood and palm oil in the market. The money was never enough. At night, when the children slept, she would sit under the flickering kerosene lamp and weep silently, holding the last remnants of her late husband's wrapper, which she had begun cutting to make rags to sell. Eventually, she sold the family's only plot of farmland, land her ancestors had passed down for generations. Then, she sold her best clothes, the ones she wore to weddings and burials. Even the church wrapper her late husband had gifted her had to go. All for Austin. Justice, Austin's younger brother, was brilliant in math, and Sarah, the youngest, dreamed of becoming a doctor. But the burden was too much. They dropped out of school, without a word of complaint, and took up odd jobs. Pounding fufu at weddings, helping bricklayers, cleaning compounds. Anything to bring money home. They told everyone it was temporary, that Austin would graduate and bring change. Austin knew. He saw the bruises on his mother's hands, the fading color in her once vibrant eyes, and the calluses on his siblings' palms. Every time he opened his tattered university notebooks, he felt the weight of 3 people studying through him. He made a silent vow to never let them regret it. Austin arrived in the city with hope in his eyes and a letter of introduction from a local elder in his village. He clutched it like a lifeline as he approached the gated mansion of his uncle, Chief DK, a man known for his wealth and political connections. Dressed in his only pair of good trousers and a washed-out shirt, Austin stood outside for hours before the security guard finally allowed him in. Chief DK, adorned in flowing agbada and gold chains, looked at Austin with a mixture of disinterest and irritation. After listening to Austin's humble request for help, just a small job or even a recommendation, Chief DK leaned back in his velvet chair and scoffed. "Do you think money grows on trees just because I live in the city?" he asked mockingly. "Here, take this and go back to your village." He handed Austin a crumpled 1,000 nairas note, barely enough for transport. The rejection cut deeper than any blade. Austin left with a hollow heart, shoulders slumped, walking the hot streets in a daze. Despite the heartbreak, Austin returned to school determined not to fail. He studied harder than ever, often skipping meals and walking long distances just to attend lectures. When he finally graduated, his name was announced with pride, but no family could attend. His mother couldn't afford the trip, and his siblings were working. With his certificate in hand, Austin set off once more to the city, this time with dreams of a white-collar job. But job after job rejected him. "You need experience," they said. "We've filled the position," others lied. Weeks turned into months. His clothes grew worn, his phone calls to home grew fewer. The pressure of expectations weighed on him like a mountain, and disappointment became his daily companion. It was a rainy evening when Austin met him, Stargar, a man with confident strides, flashy clothes, and eyes that seemed to read pain like a newspaper. Austin had just been kicked out of a job interview and was sitting under a bus shelter when Stargar approached, offering a cigarette and then conversation. Stargar spoke in a way that made crime sound noble. He talked of freedom, wealth, and respect. "I see hunger in your eyes," he said. "Hunger the world won't feed with your degree." Austin was hesitant, but Stargar promised one chance, just one job. Desperate and tired of being stepped on, Austin agreed. The first job was simple: getaway driving during a small store robbery. Austin's heart pounded like a drum the whole time, but the operation went smoothly. They got away clean, and Stargar handed him a wad of cash bigger than anything he'd ever held. Austin couldn't sleep that night. The guilt gnawed at him, but so did the joy of being able to send money home. For the first time in years, he didn't feel useless. One job became 2, then 5. His hands weren't clean anymore, but his pockets were full, and so was his family's dinner table. Soon, Austin decided to break away from Stargar and form his own crew. He picked 3 boys from the street, sharp, agile, loyal, and one girl, Vanessa, who was tech-savvy and fearless. Together, they became a silent storm. They trained for weeks: mock operations, rehearsals, escape plans. Austin, now hardened and strategic, became their leader. They swore loyalty, not with blood, but with purpose. They would not fail. They would not be poor again. Their targets: corrupt government officials and rich businessmen who stole from the people. Their first major operation targeted a corrupt contractor known for embezzling road funds. Wearing matching black uniforms and designer shades, they stormed his mansion in 4 customized cars. The city buzzed the next day. Newspapers labeled them "ghost hawks." Their uniform became their signature. Their cars, a red Benz, a white Lexus, a black Prado, and a green G-Wagon, became feared symbols. Austin's name was never mentioned publicly, but within circles of power, he was known and dreaded. During a tense operation, one of the gang members was shot in the leg. They couldn't risk taking him to a hospital. A friend directed them to a powerful native doctor in a remote village. The man treated the wound and made them an offer. He would make them immortal, immune to bullets and blades, under one condition: they must return every 4 years to renew the charm. Desperation met temptation. They agreed, and after the ritual, they felt invincible. That night, they didn't just walk away from death, they danced with it. Now unkillable, the ghost hawks became bolder. Government convoys, armored vaults, and secret warehouses were no match. They moved with precision, leaving chaos and headlines behind. The gang used part of the stolen money to help slum dwellers and poor families, creating a Robin Hood myth around them. But beneath the praise was growing tension. Some members enjoyed the thrill more than the cause. Austin began to worry. Austin finally returned to the village, not as a beggar, but in a brand new car with suitcases full of money. His mother cried when she saw him, unaware of the dark path he had taken. He enrolled Justice in a top law school and Sarah in medical college. The family home was renovated, and neighbors whispered blessings. Austin had fulfilled his promise, but the weight of his secret made every celebration bittersweet. Austin visited his uncle again, this time in a convoy. He dragged Chief DK out of his mansion, tied him to a tree, and lashed him, not to kill, but to humiliate. "I begged you, and you mocked me," Austin whispered. "This scar is your contribution to my journey." DK screamed and cursed, but Austin walked away calmly. Revenge didn't heal him, it only deepened his wounds. Mary was different. A soft-spoken woman who worked with a non-profit for underprivileged children. She met Austin during a charity event he funded under a fake name. She was drawn to his generosity, and he to her innocence. They talked often, then daily. She saw the cracks in his armor, and he felt a peace he hadn't known in years. Austin fell in love, though he feared it would be his undoing. Mary sensed the truth. One night, she followed him and saw enough to confront him. Austin confessed everything, his pain, his crimes, his regrets. She didn't leave. Instead, she cried and held him. "You can still change," she said. Her forgiveness became a mirror, reflecting the man he used to be. Austin began to imagine a life beyond crime. The gang noticed the change. Austin grew softer, cautious. Vanessa accused him of being weak. The others agreed. When threats against Mary began, Austin snapped. He warned them, "Touch her, and I'll bury you myself." The rift widened. Trust began to rot. Austin proposed one last job, to fund a legal business and go clean. But the gang refused. They planned a massive heist, and pressured him to join. He hesitated. The native doctor was dead, and the charms were expiring. "This could be our end," he warned. No one listened. Austin backed out at the last minute. The gang set him up, making him the fall guy. During the heist, police ambushed them. Austin was shot and left for dead. As darkness consumed him, he dialed the only person he trusted, Sarah. Sarah smuggled Austin into her private clinic. She worked tirelessly, ignoring legal risks. Justice joined, helping cover the trail. Weeks passed. Austin healed. He rose from the bed a changed man. His siblings had saved his life. Now, he would save theirs. Austin set a trap. He contacted the gang, pretending to want one last chance to make things right. Meanwhile, Justice worked with the police. The gang walked into the setup, greedy and unguarded. Justice awaited. The sting operation was swift. Police swarmed in. Gunfire erupted, but none escaped. Vanessa screamed Austin's name in betrayal. As handcuffs clicked, Austin stood silently, watching his past fade behind bars. The trial was intense. The gang received life sentences. Justice, now a confident young lawyer, fought hard for Austin's reduced charge. Austin was sentenced to 10 years, with possibility of parole for good behavior. It wasn't freedom, but it was a second chance. In prison, Austin read books, taught inmates, and wrote letters. He turned pain into purpose. The guards respected him. Fellow inmates listened to him. Austin was rebuilding from within. The ghost hawks were no more. 2 attempted suicide. 1 turned religious. Vanessa never spoke again. Austin mourned them silently. They had been brothers once. Now, they were cautionary tales. Mary visited every month. She brought books, food, and forgiveness. Her love never wavered. With each visit, Austen healed. With each letter, he became more whole. Austen launched a prison reform group. He mentored young inmates, some of whom had lost hope. His story spread beyond the walls. From Ghost Hawk to Guardian, one magazine called him. Austen wrote often to his mother, Justice, and Sarah. He apologized. He thanked them. He promised better days. Each letter was read aloud during family dinners. Mama Austen kept them like scripture. Due to good behavior, Austen's sentence was reduced to 6 years. The parole board approved his release. The prison gate opened to sunlight. Austen inhaled freedom like it was his first breath. The village welcomed him. His mother embraced him for minutes. Neighbors wept. Austen gave thanks at church, barefoot, crying like a child. Redemption had come home. Austen became a youth advocate, traveling to schools and villages. He warned against shortcuts. He taught resilience. He used part of his saved wealth to build a vocational center. Dozens of lives changed. Austen proposed to Mary in the middle of a youth conference. He said yes, in tears. Together, they launched the Ashes to Steel Foundation, sponsoring poor students nationwide. Austen visited the old bus stop where he met Stargar. He sat quietly, watching people rush by. He was no longer that desperate boy. He was a man forged by fire, tempered by grace, and anchored by love. His story had come full circle.
Subscribe now and join the Firelight Tale family. Turn on notifications, because each story is an ember waiting to spark your imagination.